Okay.
What's up? What's up? It's your girl Michelle with the Raindrop Combos and
Stacy, what's going on, guys?
what's up, chick, man?
What's going on, girl?
Man, we jumping on.
We have to do our cheers.
Exactly. Cheers to you,
Cheers
my
to
dear.
you, my dear.
Jumping on with this live late night podcast.
Oh my God,
So
yeah.
came over and hung out, for a while. We've been chopping up on a few different topics, but we did not want to miss our Sunday night podcast.
A lot of personal topics that we're not going to touch on today.
Definitely. But tonight we're touching on something that's kind of heavy.
Yes.
It depends on, if you think it's a heavy topic.
Yes.
But we just want to touch it really quickly. And I know some of y'all are watching that Power Book 3. And so I think it's going on. But if not, hey, enjoy. But
our ghost is our crush.
But right. This season they're focusing on Kanan, right?
Yes.
It's his story. So like I say, y'all enjoy. But in the meantime,
the man we love to hate.
Love to hate.
Yes.
He redeemed himself in that last season. He tried.
He did.
Yeah. But anyway, so like I said, we're just here to talk about a quick topic about family, money, and death, which is what you see on the screen.
Yeah.
And I just want to say I am repping that Rep Your City GA.
Rep Your City GA.
T-shirt, yeah, Interstate 20.
Yes.
Let's see.
West of Atlanta.
West of the ATL.
I will. Next time I'll have that East of Atlanta represent for the deck.
Yeah, so go to your Rep
It's
Your City
always
GA.
greater indicator.
YourCityGA.com, the sponsors of our podcast.
Yes.
So let's get into this content, lady.
Boom. Let's go.
So what's up, chick? Like I said, this topic is a little heavy for some people, but I think it's so important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think as I get into my older age, I'm 44 years old, thinking about, what happens with, marriage, with wills, with money, with
kids.
Property,
Yeah.
Hearing so
parents.
All of that.
Yeah.
We're hearing so many horror stories about what happens when someone passes away and
Absolutely.
they have not established certain, a will and testament.
Or they have established and the money got left to somebody who isn't sharing the wealth.
And they're not being responsible with
Hello.
That money. So I think it's something important because the thing is, I know that we have a lot of independent insurance agents and representatives on my
Absolutely.
Facebook
I have a few.
that are always saying, hey, don't be the one that has to
life insurance.
Yeah,
life insurance is important.
These GoFundMe accounts
because
can't
you stand
did
it.
Not prepare for death.
Yes,
it's inevitable.
Yeah, because like if I see your Facebook page and you have Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and all of this, and you die, like God forbid,
right?
But you die,
right.
And your family is putting up a GoFundMe page for your funeral. Got a problem with that.
Come on. That's what I'm saying, because we throw so much money away on other things and
making other people rich that are already rich.
And when you do that, you're almost saying that you don't really care about, your family.
Correct.
Or the ones that are coming behind
Correct.
you. And it's just not fair.
And when you think about our grandparents, like I know my grandfather built 3 houses by hand on the same street to leave a legacy for his family.
Right.
And so if you could do that in the 50s, 60s, 70s, why the hell now that we have more information available to us, we have, more access to life insurance policies and all of that, all the information and knowledge that we have, why do we still have GoFundMes for people that die and don't have any money to bury them?
Right.
I'm confused by that.
I'm very confused by that too. And honestly, I would say not really confused, because I know that people are not putting their money
where it's supposed to go.
Place. And so that's just the bottom line. And so you think that when you're gone, somebody's going to take care of things, take care of your family, take care of your
Do you really care?
You don't care.
I mean, you ain't here no more. So, right. Yeah.
You think proactively, because the thing is, when you have those types of policy in place, then you are securing and you are resting assured, hopefully, that 250, that 500, that 1 million is going to be designated to take care of any debts or any properties that you have, liens on, whatever. Unfortunately, the person who's responsible for that money, tell your story, baby. Tell your story.
First, let me say, because we did not give a proper introduction.
Mm-hmm.
Today is Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I literally needed to talk to my girl. Jumped in my car, stopped at the store, got something to drink, to talk to my girl about whatever was going on in my personal life. That she is always there to help me with. And so I've been over here for hours.
Literally.
Said,
come on. She was like, girl, what you doing? Girl,
right. I'm on the way. OTW, on the way,
exactly.
And so we're not dressed for this. We don't have makeup, and it is what it is. You see what you see, you get what you get today, But yeah, like I had this situation in my family. And without giving, like all of the details, I had a family member that was married for, I don't know, a year. And the wife, with my cousin, of course, or my family member. Right. Yeah, I don't want to give too much information. But my family member was a male. The wife got a lot of money when he died. He set her up, and he was sick for a duration of time, but his parents were there. And when I say there, I mean that they're from a small town and they had to travel, like should be by plane, but they actually drove, back and forth to be with their son, the mom and the dad.
Yeah.
So the wife didn't have to really do much, and she was only married for a year. So my family member ended up leaving the wife through, policies or whatever, a very large amount of money. Now, when I think about me and I think about how my mind operates, if I know that I've been through the sickness, because I've been a caregiver, we talked about, with my mom,
right.
I've been a caregiver, so I know how hard that is. And I can't imagine having someone or people that were there all the time to help me through that. Of course I had my family, but like to have anybody else, they were there.
Right.
They traveled, they took off of work, they did whatever they needed to do. So when the family member passed, he left a very large sum of money in policies to the wife.
The 1 year wife, the wife that he was married to for 1 year.
Maybe 2 years.
2 years, okay, 2 years.
So yeah, I think 2 years, but still, it wasn't no 10 or 15 years.
Right.
And I want to be nice, but I really want to say this B. You know what I mean?
Right.
She got a lot of money from the policy.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, or I'm asking, the parents, well, what did she cut the check?
Right.
I'm like Jocelyn Hernandez, run me my money.
Right.
Nada.
Not one.
So let me get this straight. You getting you a house built, you buying clothes, shades, you running your business or whatever. You ain't rent his parents no money out of all that money you got.
Right.
I feel some kind of way. Like when I say feel some kind of way, I mean feel some kind of way like I'm very classy. Let me say that. Very classy. I don't believe in fighting.
Right.
However, if anything makes me come out of character,
that would do it.
It's people that do people wrong.
Yeah.
So for you to get all that money and that these people who were his parents were there every step of the way and you ain't break them off nothing, you need an old school beat down.
Right.
I don't condone fighting. Let me say that. I don't condone beat down. However, there are certain cases where I would be like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because dare you? How dare you think, like, you know that you weren't the wife
right.
that you were supposed to be,
Right.
or that you should have been, you know, and you think nobody knows that, but we do.
Right.
We know you were shady.
Mm-hmm.
So you know you were shady. If I know you were shady and I'm on the outside,
other people definitely.
So the people that were close know you were shady.
Right.
But most importantly, you know you were shady. So for you not to break his parents off who were there with you every step of the way, yeah, you deserve an old school beat down for that.
How do we prevent that? Let me tell you. I mean, I can see how a man or even a woman, you know, you're newlywed, you're in a marriage,
Mm-hmm.
you think you're married to, the perfect person, and then all of a sudden you come down with, a deathly condition.
Yeah.
And now you have 2 to 3 years to live.
Yeah.
Are we talking integrity? Are we talking not or trusting people too much, not planning properly? Because what could he have done to prevent that? Could he have made
that's funny because my 15-year-old said that. She's like, well, why didn't he leave the money to, or some money to?
Right.
And, I mean, but when you're married, that's like automatic,
right.
Like automatically you're married to someone and so they're the benefactor
right.
on everything.
Right.
The kids and your spouse are the benefactors. Right. So you're not really thinking when you're, signing those papers when you get a job. Exactly.
You're thinking that you're in love with a person that's gonna, of course, they're gonna look out for my parents, or if anybody else needs anything.
Yeah. Oh. And let me tell you, I was even doubly mad. Let me tell you why I was doubly mad. Because I'm a Capricorn.
Right.
We don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And she a Capricorn.
Yeah.
And I'm giving way more details than I meant to. However, I don't really care.
Right.
We don't do that. Yeah. So I'm even doubly mad because, as a Capricorn, like we are very fair. We believe in the most equitable, distribution of everything, when it comes to time, effort, money, whatever. So the fact that, I'm going to blame it on youth and not being taught well.
Mm-hmm. That's an earring.
Because what parent, like if my mom was still here, there's no way my mom would let me act in that manner without saying, nah, boo-boo, this is how you're supposed to do it, and it's how you're going to do it. So I blame the people around that person too. Yeah. But it's just, I have to give, when I say so much praise to the way the parents are handling it.
They're not causing any kind of ruckus. They're not.
And they're still in contact with her. They still talk to her. Because let me tell you, we talked last time. The God in me is perfect.
Right.
But the Stacy in me is flawed.
Definitely flawed. And perhaps they have some.
The Stacy in me would have beat her down.
Yeah. And it sounds like the parents got a big God in them.
They are saints.
They probably feel some kind of way about it, but then at the end of the day, because it sounds like you said there's a character trait when it comes to Capricorns. But then
it's just human trait, right? Yeah.
But then you're talking about somebody who doesn't have that kind of compassion, have that ability to say, you know what, this man, we weren't together that long,
right?
His family was very supportive.
Yes, it's not like they weren't there,
right?
Now, if they weren't there, I can understand.
Yeah.
Again, having been a caregiver, I understand levels of support,
right,
very well. And so. I can't even, to be honest, I can't even imagine. Well, I can because I had, again, like we talked about before, I had Miss Dolores. But outside of, Miss Dolores, I can't imagine, like, I didn't have that kind of support. That somebody that was there where I didn't have to do anything and I didn't have to cook, I didn't have to clean, I didn't have to do, they did everything 24 hours a day. Right. That's what she had.
Right.
So to have that and to not, I guess, and I don't want to say compensate, but I mean, that was their son. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so for you not to do the right thing Because had that been me, and that was my husband, and he left me however many millions, which he left millions.
Yeah. I think we got a comment on the screen. What's up, my dog, June?
No, June. They didn't have any kids. They were only married for a year.
No kids.
No kids. They were only married for a year.
Does that make
he couldn't have kids.
Does that make a difference?
Yeah.
Let me know, lady. Does that make a difference? Oh yeah, you said. Oh, don't tell the part about
they didn't have any kids.
They didn't have any kids, but
they didn't have any kids.
Was she looking for alternative?
I'm just saying.
Let us know. Let us know what you think about this.
I'm just saying. They didn't have any kids. They were only married for a year. June. She got millions. Okay. And she didn't break his parents off any. Now, again, as a family member, because that was my baby. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That was my baby. I actually gave that baby his middle name. I want to beat her down. You know what I mean? I want to beat her down.
Right.
You know, because he, like, especially when you're talking about somebody that had the biggest heart.
Yeah.
That was one of the sweetest people, just like his parents,
mm-hmm.
you know, one of the sweetest people, one of the most God-fearing people that you have ever or would ever meet. And you, and the stuff that we find out or have found out that she said and did later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, I'm glad I didn't know at the funeral.
And I'm sure. And you know, I'm telling you, it really makes it kind of scary and sad that you have to have those type of provisions.
Yeah.
You know,
you do.
The thing, honestly, I think people don't want to think about death. They don't want to think about planning for their death. They don't want to think about the will, who's going to get the house, who's going to get the, and I'm honestly, I think you have to, because humans are going to be humans, and they are ultimately selfish and greedy. But that's the world we live in.
Yeah, but we're not all like that.
No, we're not all like that. And some people have a good heart. But let me tell you something. I'm not going to be stupid enough to assume that if I don't prepare things properly with my own estate, that I don't want my kids in some law office or with some lawyer saying, "Mama would have wanted me to have this."
Right. Let's just go ahead and write it out so everybody know who get what.
Let's just keep it 100. That people are going to want,
even at this age, even at 40 something, we need to have all those things.
So that there's no confusion. Because I don't want them falling out down the line and saying, "Well, Mama would have wanted me to have this," and what. No, I'm sorry. We want people to do the right thing. We want to think that everybody has a good heart and they're going to take care of this one.
They don't. But you don't know that.
You don't.
Because I'm pretty sure like he didn't know that.
And he wouldn't even want to. I mean, he wouldn't want to think about that.
No.
He wouldn't even want to be like, man, let me just make
That's more stress. Like when we talked about disease, we talked about disease being dis-ease.
Right.
We talked about that. So you are like, she was literally adding more pressure and stress as he was already in disease and diseased from that dis-ease. Exactly. You know what I mean? And so the trauma that can cause to a body that's already trying to battle, you know, whatever illness is enough. But you're adding to that stress intentionally, or and I don't want to say intentionally, but you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're hanging out, you're partying, you're doing whatever. I have a husband. And to be honest with you, it kind of really doesn't matter. Like, I don't care where we are, like whether I like him or not, you know, in any given situation at any given time. If he's sick, I'm going to be there and I'm going to be, you know, 100, 1,000, you know, I'm going to keep it 1,000. You didn't do that. But yes, you think that it's okay for you to keep the millions and not spread it or distribute it amongst the people who were actually there for you during your time of trouble. I have a problem with that. And you should have a problem with that. And I remember I was talking to, because I have a counselor. We all have a counselor.
Mhm.
Well, we should anyway.
Right.
We should.
Please get you some counselor.
Please get a counselor if you don't have one.
Right.
But I remember my counselor who was like, I'm writing this down. Like, I'm going to use this. It is what it is. But I said, some of us are waiting on karma and some of us are waiting on our harvest. Depends on what kind of seeds you've sown.
Right.
I'm waiting on the harvest.
I'm waiting on the harvest too.
You know what I mean? Because I know what seeds I've sown.
Because I know what the karma is.
Baby.
The karma.
Me and karma good.
Right.
I ain't worried about her.
She ain't worried
about me. You know what I'm saying?
Karma is the devil. Like I said, y'all
understand.
Believe in. When people talk about karma, whenever I hear somebody even bring up karma in a movie or something, they're not talking about
always
good.
Negative.
It's always something.
It's always negative.
They talk about karma coming back to get you.
Yeah.
They're not talking about something good coming back to get you. They're talking about something bad coming back as a result of some bad actions that you put. Now,
the
karma can be
that you sow. Yeah, it's good karma too.
But when I hear people talk about karma, they're talking about bad things and the results of those bad things coming back to you.
And so that's something that you want to make sure, like, as you go through this journey that we call life, you want to make sure that you are sowing seeds that are going to reap a harvest and not karma.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's not just going to impact you. It's going to
impact generations
and generations.
That's what people don't understand. And so, so as a family, we're kind of just like, we're going to follow the saints. Because, I mean, the sinners. I mean, every family got saints and sinners now.
Right.
I don't want to say I'm on the sinner side.
Right.
I mean, I could be a saint sometimes.
Right.
However, on this incident, I would be on the sinner side because I'm ready to bring that karma.
Yeah.
Because especially when you do people that are so good wrong,
it's hard. It's really hard to control your emotions.
Yes.
When it comes to that, but the thing is, okay, so let's say you go out there and decide to exact your revenge or whatever.
Which I wouldn't do.
I know you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we got to take that as a lesson. It's a hard lesson.
But you got to take
that as a lesson.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, how do I set myself up
to make sure that
doesn't
happen?
Teach my kids that they don't end up in that situation. I got a son. I don't want a daughter to end up in a situation. I mean, I've heard of some ugly stuff. There was these sisters, and somebody, if you drop it in the comments, if you know about these two sisters, they were like half Asian, half African American, and created a hair care, and it was being care. I can't think of the name, and I will drop it in the comments when I find it. But I mean, beautiful sisters went in together. They had a hair salon. Then they created a hair care line for people with kinky and curly hair. Now, one of the sisters, one of the sisters, she had some kind of, anxiety, depression issues, ended up hooking with a Caucasian man, never got married. But as they were in a relationship, he fleeced her for like tons of money. He's actually started his own like beard care line. Google him. I'm going to put that in there because I want y'all to find this dude. Because I saw a YouTube video where they were saying, don't support this guy. Because he fleeced her out of tons of money. And even her family had to actually sue him because she ended up killing herself. She committed suicide. They never had kids and were never married. But he was actually, they were saying that he had rights to a certain amount of the money that she had left. When I say that, y'all got to have y'all
let me tell you, I wasn't mad. Because I know you don't watch TV like that.
You know I don't.
However,
with these people.
When Candy was like, listen, we ain't getting married if you don't sign that prenup, boo.
You talking about to the last one?
Right.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
I'm not mad either.
At all. I'm not mad at you because she knew what she had.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't about him. It was about me protecting and for my future generation.
Yeah. Yeah. And just in case, like, I want to think that you love me Nobody gets married to somebody that they think is using them.
Right.
No, nobody. If you do, then that, like, you're using whoever you get married. But anybody you get married to and want to start a life with, you're not thinking that they are using you. However, you still need to protect yourself because you don't know.
I mean, look at Mary J. paying spousal support to her ex. I mean, we can count numerous stories.
Because a real man would be like,
"No,
I don't want your money."
Good. But everybody goes into it with roses and butterflies and
rose-colored glasses and all of that.
Everything's gonna be gravy.
Yeah.
Like I said, think about your family, your blood, your kids.
Yeah.
We just got to plan better.
We have to plan, and it's been something that as a people or as a community we have not wanted to do.
I honestly don't like talking about it myself. I don't want to talk about death and what's going to happen after I'm gone, but I know it's so important that I plan.
It is, especially when you have kids. Like, you have to make sure.
And it's that crazy to not want to talk about it, though. It's like, what if we're going to die if we talk about
I think people do think that. Like, okay, if I don't talk about it, if I don't do it, nothing's going to happen.
I'll live forever.
Not going to happen. Nobody gets out of here alive. Like, this is the bottom line. Yeah, nobody gets out of here alive.
Death, taxes, what was it? The guarantee: death, taxes, trouble. That's it, baby. You are guaranteed that in life.
Yeah. And so to not talk about it, to not deal with, how, like, even at our age, like, when you start really thinking about it, and it's like, okay, if something happened to me today, who's going to take care of my kids? Or who would I leave my kid? Who would I trust to leave my kids? And that's huge.
Because I got to know that they're stable enough to be able to take on what is a huge challenge for me alone.
And that we have the same, mentality, value system, belief system. Yeah, like, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
So I understand why we don't want to think about it, because it's a lot to think about.
Because honestly, I think the reason why it's a lot, because some of us wouldn't trust anybody but ourselves. If you want to get down to the nitty gritty, you're not really going to trust your sisters, your brothers.
I can count on one hand with a couple of fingers.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Who I would actually...
I would be like, are you sure you can handle it? So when you plan that, you're going to have to talk to them and be like, look, if something ever happens to me, what are you going to do? Are you going to be able to take care of my kids? What's the plan of action? Do you know I wanted to see them go here, there, their future, their...
Yeah, like, I mean, I want
everything out.
I want their money in a trust fund. I don't want them to be able to access their money until they got a career. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Let me show. Lowe's, thank you. Titty Branch. TT Branch. That was the girl that killed herself. That had that huge. Thank you. Lowe's, you always come through, my dog.
Always.
You always come through when we sit here stuttering trying to figure it out. Thanks, bro. That was her name. Look up her story, y'all. Look up TT Branch and look at what happened to her.
Yeah.
She committed suicide, and her wealth, a large portion of her wealth, was stolen by a man that she was dating. She wasn't even married to this dude. And he went and took her money and started his own company. Watch who you're dealing with and how they move, and make sure you knowing how you move. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate
that. You always come through. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
It's crazy that you even have to, because you want to just fall in love. You just want to, you meet a person and this is the person that you love, and you just, especially if you're an honest person, you hope that everybody honest too. You think everybody honest, but I've learned in time, hell, you can't take people at face value. That was my problem as a young, as a young adult. Like, I took people at face value because I was face value.
And so you figured everybody was like you, right?
Right, but I learned, like, mofos lie. Yeah. Mofos pretend. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
motives and stuff.
Yeah, so it's like I can't stand being around people that I gotta be defensive around. Right. And defensive may not necessarily be actively defensive, but just you gotta be on guard because you just don't know where they're coming from. And so to think that you're marrying someone that you don't know where they're coming, like nobody married somebody where they don't think that, they know them.
Right. But the other thing is with the insurance part,
Mm-hmm.
you still are expecting your family to kind of have your back. And sometimes you don't know your family either. I'm telling you, I've seen some, I'm not going to really go into a lot of specifics, but I've seen some things in my own family where people were not actually responsible.
Right.
Did not act responsibly with things that were put into their possession.
Right.
They were supposed to take care of. They were supposed to, I'm not going to get into it.
I know. I just saw a meme on Instagram. I love IG.
Yeah.
Like IG. I don't love IG. I love my family. I like IG. But it was like, don't sell grandma's house. Why I gotta tell you that? Why I gotta tell you the importance of property?
Because that's what everybody's doing. It's so easy. You know what I mean? It's so
easy.
Easy.
Like, here's the thing. We need to understand that money is like water.
Right.
That crap flows through your hands.
Exactly. And once you have compromised, let me tell you something. Property is way more important than cash in your pocket.
Yes, it is.
Obviously, otherwise it wouldn't have any value.
Tell it like a TI is.
But look at I remember back in the 90s when I started seeing all these billboards around Atlanta. We buy ugly houses. Them folks, there's a concerted effort for these people to go out here and find these houses that have been gentrified, or even when somebody gets locked up and the grandma or the mama have to put the house up for the bond. And if she can't pay it, these people are losing their homes.
Yes.
Property.
Investors are trying to buy. Like, I can't tell you. I own my mom's house. Yeah. Straight out. Mm-hmm. And I can't tell you how many letters I get from investors all the time. Like, it's literally nonstop.
Right.
Why would I sell you, whatever, and I won't say the value of the house, but whatever the value of the house is,
still value.
You're trying to give me 50% of the value. Do you think I'm dumb? Like, you think that black people dumb?
That's what like, you think they think that you're thirsty and you're
right. We thirsty for money.
Exactly.
I don't give a daggone how cash poor I am. I understand assets. I understand assets.
You're that thirsty for it now. I can only imagine how thirsty
baby
10, 20 years from now when you're trying to gentrify that area.
And you
why we ain't gentrifying our own
here's
area?
The thing. That's number one. But here's the thing. I went over to my mom's house because I don't go over to the east side a lot. I really don't.
Yeah.
And I went over there and I looked across the street. And I was like, they just built like $300,000 homes, like a neighborhood of $300,000 homes across the street.
Right.
And you think I'm finna sell? Kiss my butt.
That's what I'm saying. And so just know that if you own something, if you're leaving something to your family, your kids, that you're leaving something that is very valuable. Absolutely. Your insurance policy, all of those things, please make sure that you are leaving it to somebody that's responsible. Please make sure you know how
leave it to somebody designated. Leave it to somebody who is fair.
Right. And
Number one.
That's what I'm saying, who has a good heart. That's going to designate and use it the right way and not just for their own selfish gains. And so I know this was, like I said, kind of a heavy topic for a Sunday night, but it is what it is.
I mean, but people are so... You don't know how people are until they get into that situation.
Yeah.
You really don't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can pretend to be good and all of that, but money changes, and we talk about that. Money changes some people.
Right.
So I'm imagining. Let me put myself in a role. Nah, because even if I put myself in a role, if you gave me, or if something happened to my spouse, which God forbid,
right?
And it was a situation like that,
mm-hmm.
And his parents or family or whatever were there to help the entire time. If I get, let's say, $2 million, a large chunk of that I'm going to give to the people that were there to support me.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to worry about it,
right.
Like because at the end of the day, I wouldn't have had it
if it wasn't for the
right
that person that you birthed and brought into this world. The thing is,
I'm not
a money hungry
I'm not.
person.
Yeah, the love of money, and
evil.
People get it wrong all the time. People think that money is the root. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil.
It's so funny how people always attach themselves to that part of the scripture without really understanding the full context. So that's why they're like, oh, well, it's okay to be broke. No, it's not okay to be broke.
No,
it's not okay to be poor. It's not okay
no, thank
to
you.
have to put up GoFundMe's
no, thank
you. Pay for funerals. And that's not okay.
No, thank you.
So that God did not put us on this earth to be broke.
He gave us way too many opportunities to make money to be broke.
With everything that's going on out here and all the opportunities, especially with technology, there aren't any excuses. So please stop telling me that, it seems like there is something where people feel like having money makes you evil, and there's something wrong with money.
No, it's
money.
not.
It's a tool. It's what you need.
Correct.
How can you bless other people if you're broke? How can you bless
because
people?
Most people don't use money to bless other people. That's why it's all about them.
That's what I'm saying. So when they get it, they can't hold on to it. So that's why they think it's evil, because it's going so fast. No, it's not going fast because it's evil. It's going so fast because you're evil.
Because
and
your ass evil.
And you're being selfish, period. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go off on a rant on this.
You can't know. It's Sunday. It's kind of like it is Sunday.
It is kind of like it is Sunday. And I'm not gonna really
and we here with no makeup and just doing what we want to do. It is what it is.
I just want to shout out Rep Your City G8.
Yeah.
If you want to get your Interstate 20, and watch out for the, don't let the big belly fool you. But it's
can't nobody see that girl.
Atlanta, Interstate 20, Rep Your City G8.
Rep Your City G8.
Our sponsor.
Shout out to Cordell, Georgia.
Yo.
Shout out to Cordell, Georgia. Deal in the Black. Yeah.
West Side, North
East Side.
Man.
Wait a minute. Hold on. East Side. Wait a minute. I can't find the face. East Side. It's all about the East Side. Represent Reading. We bounce. Bankhead bounce. We bankhead bounce from the Bankhead all the way to Covington Highway.
All the way to 85.
All the way to Covington Highway.
Check it out.
Yes.
RepCityGA.com. And
yes.
if you have suggestions or things that you want to share with the podcast,
yes.
just let us know. Like I said, we have fun doing this. This is my
We do. This is my doll.
We were probably talking for about good 5 hours, 5-6 hours before we even jump on this podcast.
We were.
Like, Mommy, you've been talking on.
I know, Auntie Stacey.
So what? That's what we do. It's a Sunday. We were chilling. When I need her, when I'm having some bad days, then that's who I can call.
Yes.
When she need me.
Let me tell you, my text today was, I'll be honest. Hold on here. What I say last time? I'll be honest. My honest. It was, I'm having a moment.
For real.
For real. FR.
Exactly.
I need you.
And I called her back.
And I said, and here's the thing. I was already walking to the car to come to her house when she called me back. And I was like, I'm already on the way over there. What you need from the store? Because that's what friends do. That's what your circle is supposed to be. Your front row. Your front row. Now you got a lot of rows in your theater, but your front row is supposed to be the people that you can be like, I'm at the front door. I need you to open the door. Period. Like, and they already know. You wouldn't have just shown up if you didn't need to come here. So I thank you today because I was having a moment.
Right.
We've gone through that, so I won't have to talk about it on the camera.
Right.
But I was having a moment. I needed my sister. And I actually got a 2-for-1, a twofer, as they say. I got a twofer because the little sister, Zaire, as y'all know, Zaire from our Wednesday our Wednesday night talks, she called. So we were able to talk, all three of us. Mm-hmm. And we were just able to, they were able to talk me off the ledge.
And we all need that.
Talk me off the ledge.
She talked me off many times because I'm telling you, when I got the text, I was like, okay, all right, let me make sure I'm good today.
Exactly. Right. And when I talked to you, what did I say?
He was like, okay, are you good? Hey,
yes.
Sis, are you good? Make sure that you're not going through anything before. And like I always tell her, I'm not gonna call back unless I know.
Absolutely.
I know when I get that kind of it was like kind of a 911 type text.
Yes.
I know that. Okay, let me get straight. All right. Well, I'm good. I'm going through the usual stuff, but nothing that is holding me down where I can't talk to my sis. I got to be here for her today. And I actually prayed. I told her, I prayed. I said,
Yes.
give me wisdom to be able to advise her the right way, give her the right information, advice, and all that stuff.
Yes.
And it
normalize that though.
Yeah.
Normalize. Don't just, we're real bad at that. Like we're as a people, and I guess everybody is. I mean, I don't know if it's just a black thing, right? I don't know about everybody else. But I just think that we need to normalize before we throw all of our issues on our friends and our family or whoever's on our front row. Make sure, normalize checking to make sure that they're in a space where they can deal with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because my first question was, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
I need to put some stuff on you right now. Are you okay? Before I do, are you in a space where you can listen? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Where you can handle. Right. Because I do, I feel like it's a burden when I put my problems or when I talk to people about problems. Yeah. I do feel like it's a burden. And it may not be a burden too, because I don't feel like it's a burden when somebody does that to me.
But you feel like it is a burden.
Yeah.
With them. But the thing is, it's not a burden for them, but they've got to be in the right headspace
Absolutely.
to be able to give you the right advice and information.
Absolutely.
So if I'm in a bad space, I'm like, whatever. Let's go get them.
Right.
Let's go. Right. Who did it? Who did it? Now we're gonna go be.
What did my friends used to? My old still friends.
Yeah.
Still family.
Mm-hmm.
Our thing was, who did it? Who did it to the baby?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who did it to the baby?
Right.
Shout out Dina.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. Sometimes, you ain't about who did it. It's like, oh, who we need to go get. Like,
you already in a space.
Where's my black,
If you in a space where you ready,
where's my Scully,
down on them.
Let's ride out,
So that's why I said I prayed before I called her back.
Yes.
I wanted to make sure I was in a good headspace. I wanted to be able to give good information, good advice, so we can just sit, chill, and kick it. Because sometimes this thing takes some hours to work out between me and her. God. I know when we talk, because baby, it's like we got
It's compounded stuff. It's not just like, one deal. It's like, this compounded.
Confused. Are you sure? Sis, are you sure? What should I do about this?
Yeah.
So,
and talking off the ledge is hard.
Man.
I mean, because my legs go out far.
Yeah, and mine does too.
So you may talk me back a little bit, but I'm I ain't off of that all the way.
I ain't ready yet.
I ain't off of the ledge all the way.
I'm not ready to let go yet.
Right. So you're going to have to keep on pulling and talking, you know. And so that's what my sister does.
Yeah.
And so thankfully today she was able to talk me off the ledge. And because there's some times where I call you and I'll be ready to burn that sugar honey iced tea down.
Right.
Burn it all down. Like Atlanta. The old what's that movie from the old Atlanta?
What?
Where they burned Atlanta?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Talking about I know what you're talking about when Sherman came through.
Yeah.
Sherman came through, burned it down. Yeah.
Burn it all down and start over. And that's So I'm there a lot of times. Not a lot.
And we can all get there. And I just hope you have somebody that you can talk to, that you can trust, that you can talk about different issues. And, so like I said, are we about to get ready to shut this down or what?
I mean, it just when it comes to back to our original, when it comes to money and it comes to family and it comes to number one, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to leave a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one.
It really is.
Because a lot of people don't.
And they can't. Yeah.
Which we see the GoFundMe's and all that.
Right.
Excuse me. So when somebody does, it definitely is important that if you are the person that is in charge of that, that you are fair, that you are honorable, and that you are in a space where you do what's right for everybody, regardless.
Right.
Regardless about your personal feelings. Yeah, like your personal feelings don't matter.
You're talking about somebody's life, somebody's livelihood.
Yeah.
Take your personal feelings out.
Yeah. I mean, because I can't imagine if I think about, God forbid, if something happened to one of my kids and they were married to someone and left them millions of dollars. and that someone, be it man or woman, acted a fool. Now, see, even at 50, 60, I would have to go back to 1996 on they behinds. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. But that's just me. I ain't no saint. You know what I mean?
None of us are.
I ain't no saint.
None of us are.
But nobody should have to tell you to do the right thing. Right. Because understand that if you don't do what's right, God don't like that.
And so
God don't like ugly.
You're not gonna be happy.
How do we say God don't like ugly, and He ain't too fond of cute? You know what I mean?
He ain't too fond of cute.
So, if that's the way you want to go, please understand that ill-gotten spoils are rarely maintained or kept.
All right, you're not gonna enjoy it.
Very rarely.
And I'm not sitting here on a pedestal to make it seem like I do everything right.
But I mean, there are certain things that I'm a drink, I mean, I may do some things that aren't all the way right. However, when it comes to other people, my wrong or our wrongs don't usually affect other people.
Right. I'm not trying to hurt.
Yeah, right. No, my wrongs affect me. Yeah. They don't affect other people. I
mean, whatever we did, to me, intentionally hurting people is childish. It's stuff you did back in the day when you made fun of folks, the bullies and all.
Yeah.
At a certain age, don't you know that you're not supposed to intentionally be mean and hateful and hurtful,
right,
and try to see people down, and
you should be uplifting people. Like, my whole thing is uplift. But I don't even have no money. Like, okay, I do, but still, a little bit. But what we do have, like, I don't have, like the millions and millions,
right?
But even without that, like, I'ma still help when I can. You know what I'm saying? And so I can't imagine, like, I remember being in, I don't know, 6th, 7th grade, raised by, my mom, living in apartments. And of course, we didn't have cam back then. We talked about that.
Right.
How in summertime, you was just home. Right, you know what I mean? Mom, I'm going outside. Okay, call me in an hour, check back every hour, know, that kind of thing. And I remember my mom coming home all the time, like, where's the food?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the food that I just went to Cub Foods and bought? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I literally used to cook breakfast and lunch for everybody in the neighborhood.
Exactly.
And she used to be like, girl,
right.
I could not afford to feed everybody in the neighborhood.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, I get it. Like,
but you can't help if you've always had a giving spirit. And, like I said, I can remember sometimes, I've done some things where, I might have been a little jealous, a little envious of certain things. But, I mean, I think that I've always had pretty much a giving spirit.
Absolutely.
And even now, a portion of my
salary. So you never go anywhere without being like, what can I bring? Or bringing something, whether you ask or not. Really? I'm glad, because I'd be like,
no. And a portion of the money that I bring in on a weekly, monthly basis, I donate that consistently to charitable organizations.
Absolutely.
It's not anything I brag about. It's just the fact that I know that we didn't have a lot when I was growing up.
Right.
And so
there are causes I donate to on a monthly basis that I would never tell anybody because this is what I do.
It's really not their business.
It's not, and I don't care if anybody knows. It just is what it is.
Yeah. Anything for it. It's just for the fact that maybe the reason why we were able to get to where we are is because somebody donated, you know what I'm saying, to these types of organizations too.
Or, and praying parents, a praying mama, a praying grandmama, a praying auntie, a praying somebody. We ain't here where we are because we didn't have no prayers
for
us.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's get that
straight.
Let's
get back to the foundation.
Let's get back to the foundation and understand praying for people. I hate when people say, I'm going to pray for you.
That's all they say. I saw a meme that said that. It said, when people say, oh, I'm praying for you, that was the prayer. It wasn't
you know what I mean?
Going to get on their knees and actually say, oh, God, I
I'm gonna say a prayer, you know.
In my heart,
if I say I pray for you,
yeah.
please understand
Even
it
when
on
I'm
the
scrolling
same
through
one.
Facebook and I see where people have
Yes,
that,
I
oh,
will
man,
stop
oh,
and
and I'll actually touch the screen and be like, you know, God, you know, I'm
praise
touching.
God.
So you
Yes,
know, like I said,
bring them
man,
courage, bring them, you know, strength, bring
And
them
breathe
whatever
life,
they
yeah.
need, you know, to make it through whatever they're going through.
Mhm.
So yes, we have praying parents, we have praying grandparents
Right.
that prayed us where we are today.
Exactly.
Period.
And pray,
you know,
and some that prayed you where you are today.
Understand.
So, like I said, this is love
Yes.
and relationship.
Yes.
This is Raindrop Convos. We appreciate y'all dropping in. Please,
Yes.
you know, email us info@raindropconvos.com.
Don't forget, go visit our sponsor, RepYourCityGA.com. Go ahead and get that shirt.
Hey, if you
My girl got on that 20 shirt, you know, west of Atlanta, you know.
20 west of the ATL, man. They got the
It's all about the east side.
They got whatever.
It's all about the Golden Line,
go
you
on
know.
the website and represent and grab your tea. Because like I said, I'm
It's all about that blue flag, Grand Street. All about that blue flag, Grand Street.
And it's 20 west of Atlanta, baby.
Always.
It's the ATL. We love y'all.
If you want to sponsor, you know, again, hit us up, info@raindropconvos.com.
Yes.
You want us to shout out your company, your business, your service, let us know. We're good with that. We're all about representing for our community, our businesses in our community. That's what we're about.
Right.
We're about building the Black community, rebuilding the Black community.
Exactly.
If that's what you're about, we on the same page.
Holla at us. And those people that reached out that said they wanted to be guests on the show, we are putting
together
a schedule. Me and my girl will like jump on at like 10 o'clock at night, or you know, so we're just so sporadic with our but we are gonna get on a consistent schedule, but we just love just that this is what we do.
This is what we do. We love it. We love it. Who knew? Yeah, who knew?
We just pop on when we feeling like, hey man, let's just talk. Let's just chit chat. Turn on the camera. Yeah. And we can talk like this whether a camera's on or not. So
we actually said we did that for like 6 hours today.
If we could have had the camera on during our whole conversation, y'all would have been like, you know what I'm saying? But I hope when you hear us talking, you feeling like you're sitting down with a couple of homegirls and really like, you know, vibing with people that's just, you know, keeping it real, man. You know, so love y'all.
And make some decisions.
Hey.
I mean, I ain't gonna talk about what I'm talking about, but make some decisions.
That's what I'm saying. We
it is what it is.
You gotta do what you gotta do. But like I said, this subject was
and here's the thing.
Money,
wait a minute, hold on. Money, family, and death. But while you alive, live.
Live your life.
Live your life. Stop living your life in a box. Stop lying. Number one. Stop not going after your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Stop preventing yourself from living the life that you know you deserve.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Stop doing that.
If you're catching this on the replay, please comment #replay in the comments. We love y'all.
Love y'all.
Catch us on the next one. What, Wednesday?
Wednesdays
going live. And Sundays are pretty consistent for us. So just catch us. We can't say specifically what time.
Because that, you know, we love having that millennial talk. Millennial Gen Z talk on Wednesdays. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't really nothing like it.
And go catch our past broadcasts on RaindropConvos.com.
Please.
And also catch us on YouTube. So we love y'all.
And we got our entertainment reporter coming with her own podcast soon. So we'll shout that out.
We would definitely be
we'll shout that out as soon as we find out more details.
Exactly. So we love y'all. Have a good night, and I hope everybody has an awesome, wonderful week. What?
So last week we wanted everybody to go into the next week with a warrior spirit. What spirit do we want to go into next week with?
I mean, be like a lion this week.
We said lion last week.
But you said a warrior spirit.
Same thing.
Okay, so then you tell me. I don't know. See,
I think that
she always do that. What kind of spirit? Somebody drop in the comments. What kind of spirit we going into this week?
Let's go in with a truthful and integrity and honesty spirit next week.
Integrity, honesty.
Let's do that.
Let that be the spirit that rules you this week.
Let's do that.
Truth, integrity.
That's important.
What was
That's
important?
Truth, integrity, and honesty. Let's do that. We need that. The world needs that.
Wait, got a comment. Let's see who's down. Grateful heart.
Grateful heart.
Thank you, June.
That's
what I'm talking about. Grateful heart. And being so grateful with everything that's going on in the world. I'm telling you, CNN is not telling you everything that's going on in India, Africa, and Asia, and all these different places. So be grateful of what you have and where you are right now. Appreciate
Yes,
it, my dog.
but
June.
catch that Black News Channel Network, though. Channel 342 on Direct TV. Shout out Mike Hill. Shout out Sharon. What's her name?
I don't know.
Sharon from CBS. I don't remember. Mike Hill is Cynthia Bailey's husband. So they're on there together. Black News Channel, Rashad Ritchie, shout out. Let's go. Come on, let's follow.
All right. RepYourCityGA.com.
Rep your city.
Interstate 20, west of Atlanta. Hey.
East side.
All right, y'all. Peace. Y'all have a good night. Love
y'all.